I've been a detective for 19 years. I've worked homicides, missing persons, cold cases that never close. But I've never worked a case where the answer was standing right next to me the entire time. His name was Thor, a Belgian Malinois, 6 years old, one of the best canines in the state, and he tried to tell me the truth 5 times before I finally listened. It started in April. A woman named Jessica Brennan was found dead in Riverside Park, just outside Portland, Oregon. She was 26, nurse, no criminal record, no enemies. She'd gone for a morning jog, never came back. A jogger found her body near the trail. No signs of struggle, no defensive wounds. Toxicology came back clean. The coroner ruled it cardiac arrest, sudden, unexplained, tragic. We brought Thor to the scene anyway, standard procedure. His handler, Officer Marcus Reyes, walked him through the area. Thor circled the perimeter, picked up a scent, followed it to the parking lot. Then he stopped, lost the trail at the road. We searched for days. No witnesses, no cameras, no DNA. The case went cold. I signed off on it. Natural causes, unexplained death, file closed. I didn't like it, but I had nothing else. I went home that night and stared at the ceiling until the sun came up. 6 weeks later, it happened again. A woman named Alicia Moreno, 28, graphic designer, found dead in Forest Park, 30 miles north. Same profile, same circumstances. Morning run, no struggle, no toxicology hits, cardiac arrest. Thor was brought in again. Officer Reyes walked him through the scene. Same result. He followed a scent to the parking lot, lost it at the road. I stood there, watching him sit and stare at the asphalt, and I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Helplessness. 2 women, 2 parks, 2 deaths with no explanation, but no connection. Different neighborhoods, different jobs, different social circles. The department treated them as separate incidents. I wanted to push back, but I had no evidence. So I let it go. And that was my first mistake. I remember sitting in my car that night, hands on the wheel, engine off. I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to face my wife and tell her I had nothing. Again. If you're still with me, thank you, and please subscribe, because what I'm about to tell you changed everything I thought I knew about trust. 3 months later, a third woman was found. Her name was Vanessa Cole, 31, teacher, found in Tryon Creek State Park. Same story, morning jog, cardiac arrest. No signs of foul play. By now, the pattern was impossible to ignore, but we had nothing to connect them. No mutual friends, no shared locations, no digital footprint linking them together. I requested Thor again. Officer Reyes brought him to the scene. Thor worked the area, picked up the scent, followed it to the parking lot, and stopped. Same place, same behavior, but this time something was different. There was another officer at the scene, Officer Colin Draven. He'd volunteered to help with the perimeter. I'd seen him before. Good cop, quiet, always showed up when we needed extra hands. Thor was walking back toward Reyes when he passed Draven. He stopped, turned his head, stared. "Hey, Thor," Draven said, reaching out to pet him. Thor pulled back, not aggressive, just uncomfortable. Draven laughed. Guess he's not a fan. Reyes pulled Thor away. "He's been off lately. Might be getting old." I didn't say anything, but I didn't forget it either. 2 weeks later, I was reviewing the case files. All 3 scenes had been processed by different teams, different shifts, different officers. But one name kept appearing in the reports. Officer Colin Draven. He'd been first on scene for Jessica Brennan. He'd assisted with the perimeter for Alicia Moreno. He'd volunteered to help search for Vanessa Cole. It wasn't unusual. Draven was dedicated, always early, always stayed late. But Thor's reaction stuck with me. I pulled Draven's duty logs. He'd been off duty the morning Jessica died, off duty the morning Alicia died, off duty the morning Vanessa died. I sat at my desk for 2 hours staring at those logs. My hands were shaking. I didn't want to believe it, but I couldn't ignore it. 3 weeks later, I requested Thor for a training exercise. I didn't tell anyone why. Reyes brought him to the station. We ran a standard drill in the parking lot. Draven was on shift that day. He walked past us on his way to his patrol car. Thor saw him and lunged, not to attack, just forward, tense, focused. Reyes pulled him back. "Thor, no, heel." Thor didn't break eye contact with Draven. Draven stopped, looked at the dog, then at me. "Everything okay, detective?" "Yeah," I said, "just training." He nodded, got in his car, drove off. Reyes looked at me. "That's the second time he's reacted to Draven." "I know," I said. "You think something's wrong?" I didn't answer, but I knew. 4 weeks later, a fourth woman went missing. Her name was Rachel Simmons, 29, photographer, last seen jogging near Powell Butte Nature Park. Her car was found in the parking lot, phone inside, keys in the ignition. No body, no witnesses, no DNA. I requested Thor immediately, but I also requested something else. I asked the captain for a quiet internal review of Officer Colin Draven. No accusations, no public statements, just a review. Thor arrived with Reyes. Draven wasn't on scene. He was on patrol. Thor worked the area, picked up the scent, followed it to the parking lot, and stopped. Same place, same behavior, but this time something was different. There was another officer at the scene, Officer Colin Draven. He'd volunteered to help with the perimeter. The captain called me 3 days later. They'd pulled Draven's phone records, his GPS data, his financial history, and they found it. Draven had been within 2 miles of every victim on the morning they died, always off duty, always out for a drive. His reports were clean, too clean, no inconsistencies, no errors, like he knew exactly what to write. I brought him in for questioning. He denied everything at first, said it was coincidence, said he liked to drive in the mornings, clear his head. But when I mentioned Thor, his face changed. "The dog reacted to you," I said, 5 times. Draven looked at me, and I saw it. Guilt. He confessed 6 hours later. He'd been following women, watching them, learning their routines. He'd approach them on the trail, flash his badge, say he was doing a safety check. They trusted him, and he used that trust to get close enough to inject them with a sedative. It looked like cardiac arrest. No struggle, no trauma, just a woman who died alone. He buried Rachel Simmons in the woods near Powell Butte. We found her 3 days later. Officer Colin Draven was arrested on June 22nd. He was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, and Thor was retired with full honors. I think about this case every day, not because it was complicated, but because it was so simple. Thor knew. He didn't understand what Draven had done. He didn't know about the victims or the injections or the trust that was violated, but he knew something was wrong, and I almost ignored him. I trusted the badge, the reports, the procedures. I trusted a man who wore the same uniform I did, and 4 women died because of it. Thor didn't solve the case. He exposed the mistake. He showed me that trust isn't earned by a title. It's earned by behavior. And sometimes the truth is standing right next to you, trying to tell you something. You just have to be willing to listen. I failed Jessica, Alicia, and Vanessa, but because of Thor, I didn't fail Rachel's family. They got answers, and I got a reminder that I'll carry for the rest of my life. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. I want to ask you something. Have you ever trusted someone because of who they were, not what they did? Leave a comment. I read every one. And if you want more stories like this, real investigations, real failures, real corrections, subscribe, because the truth doesn't always come easy, but it always comes.